Right.
This meeting is being recorded.
So you see, in case I'm doing it on the sly on you, everybody now knows that we're being recorded. So good to see everybody this morning. And as I say, the recording is just for your benefit and the benefit of the people who couldn't make it along. And really, what I want to do is just do. There's going to be 3 different sections to this morning. The first is the introduction, which is myself for half an hour, and I just explain to you the course, the requirements, what you have to do, what you don't have to do, and all that kind of good stuff. I will share with you the dates so you know what to expect and what's coming down the tracks at you. So that'll take about half an hour till 10:30. Then from 10:30 till 11:15, we'll get into the risk subject, which is one of the 4 subjects that we're covering this. Well, we're covering 2 subjects this term and 2 next term. So risk is one of them, and you're stuck with me for the risk, unfortunately, for that 45 minutes. Angelina, who is your tutor, is unwell at the moment, so she just contacted me there saying she just isn't able. So it's unfortunate, because it would be nice to meet her. Look, you know, there's things that we control and things that we don't. So I'll go through the risk course with you. We grab a quick cup of coffee then around 11:15, and then Paul Daly, who is the tutor for credit management, he'll be joining us then, and he'll go through the course with you and let you know what to expect. So let me share my screen here, and what I'll also do is the slides that I'm going to show you here, I'll send you a copy of these slides afterwards. Is that okay? So when the session is over, I will send you an email with the links to the recordings, the 3 different sessions, and the slides here, so you don't have to take notes of, you know, dates and all that sort of stuff. You will have this, you know, this afternoon or whatever. So there's the program. Welcome. Then we have credit risk management. Take a break. Then credit risk management twice, just to confuse the life out of you. Credit risk management. 11:30 is credit management. Okay. And that's saved. Then if you have questions and answers, if you have questions, hopefully we'll have the answers. We go through that, and then we wrap it up about 12:30.
Okay.
We're not sticking rigidly to this. If we're finished at 12:15 or 12:10, we're finished. And if you're happy, you have all the information. We're not here to waste everybody's time. So just to let you know that. So that's the program for today. Just a big, there's Angelina. She is your risk tutor, and she is the go-to person. So any questions on risk, on the content, on the notes, on the tests or whatever, they are directed to Angelina, and anything related to credit management is directed to Paul. And you know, we are a team. Katrina is part of the team. I am part of the team. So, you know, and any of us will help you with anything that you want. Is that okay? Now Paul might be an expert in risk, so you know, stick to the tutors, but Katrina and I have a fair idea of the course, so we're happy. There's us. Yeah, so just know who we are and what we are. So we're behind the scenes, making it all happen. So how does it work? Now, there is no classes every Saturday, so you can go to your weddings and your trips guilt-free. That is fine, and go and enjoy yourselves. What will happen is, I say you'll get the email from me today with the slides and everything else. On Monday, or between now and Monday, Paul will confirm it with you. You will receive your first set of notes for the course, and you will get those via email on Monday.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm saying Monday. You will definitely have it on Monday. I know sometimes Paul sends them out on a Sunday because he's very enthusiastic. So that's fine. So if you get them on Sunday, you will definitely have them for Monday. So that is that. So you will get your notes. And with every set of notes that we send out what's called a short test. So the short test is 10 questions based on the material you've been given. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So you go through the notes, you read and understand them, you complete the short test, and then you send the short test back the following Monday. Is that okay? So that's what happens. And then what will happen is next week, Monday, you will get your credit management notes. You'll go through them. You'll do your short test. Then the following Monday, you'll get your risk notes. And then you'll do that. And then we just alternate week on week on week.
Right. Okay.
Is that okay? So there are 4 sets of notes for each subject. And what we'll do with the short tests is you submit your short test to your tutor. And then what we tend to do with risk is we just tell you, you got 7 out of 10, have a look at question 1, 4, and 6 again.
Okay.
All right. And the reason we do that is not because we're lazy. It's because we want you to go and work it out for yourself. Because if we tell you, you won't learn anything, you won't remember anything. And the thing is, from a learning perspective, we learn far more from mistakes. We learn far more from getting it wrong. And here's the thing about, and some people are great at beating themselves up and apologizing for getting things wrong. Guys, it's a learning curve. You're here to learn. And even if you get 1 out of 10 in your first short test, and then afterwards you understand where you went wrong with the other 9, that's a far better result than getting somebody to help you to get 10 out of 10. So it is about learning. And when you get things wrong, so we'll say, have a look at question 2, 4, and 6 again. You'll go and have a look at them and say, yeah, sure, I see now. And if you can't see it, then that's where you come back to Angelina and think, look, Angelina, I'm going blind here. I just don't get this, or can you please explain where that answer came from? And then we'll explain it to you, and it'll be more beneficial to you. Is that okay?
Yep.
So that's that. So you will get your marks and then feedback as well. And we can send you all the stuff as well. And there's 2, as well as the 4 short tests, there are 2 assignments. So these are based on the material that we have, and we'll talk about those in more detail when we get to talk about the individual subjects as well. So let's just go over those. So in terms of dates, I have the dates set out here. So 28th November, you get your credit management notes. 5th of December, risk. 12th of December, your second set of notes for credit management and your assignment. The 19th of December, and so on and so forth. Now we're giving you a break for Christmas because we're nice like that. So there'll be no notes Christmas week. So go and then you're back into it in the new year then as well in terms of notes. So you can allot your own time during the week. So if you're away for 3 days, then look, I'll block off a couple of hours. Like, people say, how much time does it take? And the answer is, I don't know, because I don't know how long it takes you to read a page. So everybody is different. I would give a guideline of maybe 2 or 3 hours, that kind of time, just to read the notes, to do the test and understand it. There'll be parts that you'll fly through, and maybe credit management, and when we get to collections as well, because it's stuff that you're doing all day long and you just get it straight away. There's areas like risk, which is just a little bit more alien to you, that might take a little bit more time. So you will get into it and you will get to know it. And then what we'll do is, at the end of January, we will send you out a set of mock exam papers. So this is, I haven't mentioned the exam. Well, I will in a minute. So that's your time frame. Then we have dates here for you to return your risk short tests and assignments. So that's when you have to return them. You have a week to return your short tests. You have 2 weeks to return your assignments. And guys, look, you can see yourself, this is a very small group. So, if it's Monday, Tuesday, we're not going to be that hard on you. It's not as if it's a class of 52 and we're trying to chase 15 people. So if look, I'm away next week, just drop Angelina or Paul a note, and you catch up the following week. And if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, it's not the end of the world. Is that okay? So again, no, don't panic is the words. Let us know though, because the worst thing from our point of view is that we're sending out notes and we're not hearing anything back.
Yeah.
So just as long as you keep in touch with us, and look, we know the real world catches up with us all from time to time, and that's fine. So they're the dates, and if we can stick to them, great. If not, then great too. That's your credit management short test and assignments. They're the dates there. So everybody's on the same page. Assignments will be corrected and returned within a week of receipts, so that'll keep everything flowing and all that kind of stuff. So there's three elements to the marking. One is the short tests. So if you take the whole course is 100% for the course, 10% of that is allocated to the 4 short tests. So if you get your 4 short tests right, you've got 10% before you start. There is 20% for the assignments, that's 10% each. So now you have 30%, and then the exam is marked out of 70%. So, and you need, sorry, I go through the pass mark. So that is what, and then, as I say, there is an exam at the end. So you have your 4 short tests, your 2 assignments, and then the exam at the end. The exam is a remote exam. You do not have to come to an exam hall. And by definition, because you're doing it at home, it is an open book exam. So you don't, the last thing I want is for you to start remembering formulas and stuff like that. That's not what this course is about. It's not testing your memory or testing your academic ability. What this course is doing is testing your understanding of the concepts, because we want you to be able to apply what you learn to your everyday work and just do it that bit better. All right. Okay. So you have, now we'll get through the exams as well. So it is a written exam, it's timed and all that kind of stuff, which is great. And everything is very fair as well. And as I say, what the mock exam will give you is a picture of what the real exam paper is going to look like. And so again, there are no surprises for you. Assignments test your understanding of the concepts, and complete all tests and assignments, and you get the most marks there as well. 2 weeks, yeah, so that's grand. We've done that. There's the contact details you have, and obviously email now is the most easiest form of contact. So you do, so there's Paul's email and there's Angelina's, so you can email them at any time. In terms of plagiarism, and this is not really an issue anymore. So look, if you do work, make sure it is your own work. And the definition of plagiarism is where you take somebody else's work and pass it off as your own. That's what plagiarism is. So if, and here's the great thing, you can rob other people's work, and as long as you give them credit for it. Are you with me? So plagiarism is passing it off as your own. So if you say, look, in the book, credit risk management by whoever, this is what was said, then that is not plagiarism. And if it answers the question you're given, then that's fine too.
Okay.
For risk, and those of you who might be doing law as well, we have a third element to the notes that you get, which is a workbook. And a workbook is a series of exercises based on the text. So what you will do is, when you get your risk notes, and I go through this, you go down through the notes and it'll explain a concept. And then at the end of the page 1 or 2 or 3, it'll say, and now you should be able to do exercise 1 in your workbook.
Okay.
So when you get to that point, you then stop your reading, go to your workbook, see if you can do exercise 1. If you can, then you move on. If you can't, go back and think, whoa, hold on, where does this come from? So go back and read the notes again. And there it is. Oh, sure, I see it now. Yeah, that's grand. Boom. Yeah, easy, move. So that's so the workbook is just, rather than sort of giving you a whole pile of information, We're just breaking it down into bite-sized chunks and testing your knowledge at every step of the way, just to reassure yourself that you do know what's going on. And of course, like everything else, if you're stuck on any questions, that's where the tutors come into their own as well. Okay. In terms of a pass mark in all of this, 40% is the pass. So you need to get 40%, and you also need to get 40% in your exam. So you can't get full marks for your short test, full marks for your assignments, and then get 10% in your exam. That doesn't work. So you need to get 28 out of 70, which is 40 out of 100 in your exam. So that's that. So 40% is the pass mark across the course. We do, because we know not everybody can be great at everything. So what we brought in this policy a few years ago, a pass by compensation. So if you get to 35%, which is almost a pass, and you get 50% in another subject, we'll give you what's called a pass by compensation. So we're not going to fail you on the whole course because you dropped in one subject by 5%. So, and yet you'll find with the 4 subjects, you know, there's one you love, or hopefully you love them all, but there'll be 1 or 2 you love and 1 or 2 are all right, and maybe one that you go, here, what am I doing this for? And my hunch is that subject is probably risk. That's the one that most people have most difficulty with, and it's probably just as well you're getting it out of the way first. So that is that. So where an overall understanding of the topic is demonstrated. So that's fair enough. You also have our mobile numbers there as well. So again, feel free to call. Now, Angelina and Paul have day jobs in terms of, you know, they have to work for a living, the same as myself, but they're working externally, so contacting them during the day is not so good. Katrina and I, this is our day job, so feel free to ring us anytime, and I'm in the office most of the time. Now, I do a bit of training for a living as well, so there can be days I'm on the missing list. Generally, I'm here and I'm pretty good at catching up with messages and stuff, or if you want to WhatsApp us or whatever. And if you're just totally at sea and you want to schedule a call, then either text, ring, email and say, look, would you have half an hour just to go through this with me? And then you can schedule a call with them, probably in the evening time after work is probably best, and then they'll sit down and go through it with you. Is that okay? So please use the supports. And just to reiterate this as well, in terms of my own support levels, even if it's not course related, is that okay? So if you have a problem in work and your boss wants you to calculate DSOs differently, and you're scratching your head going, just drop me a note or give me a shout and say, look, he's looking for a different report or he's looking for whatever. And chances are I have the information sitting here on my laptop, which is absolutely no good to anybody until you ask for it. So, you know, please bounce ideas off. And if it is a work-related issue, if it's a problem, you know, some people get notice of creditors meetings, and half the people who get them haven't a clue what these things are or what they're even supposed to do with them. And by the way, the worst thing you can do is send it back. So that is that. So if there is any related questions, I'm always happy to help in any way I can. I'm one of these sad credit people who has been at credit all my life. I, you know, started as a credit controller. I didn't even start as a credit controller. I started as a credit control clerk in an office, and then spent my whole life working in credit and in management and all that kind of stuff. And then we've been doing this Irish credit management training for, believe it or not, it's 20 years. 20 years next week, Katrina. We should be celebrating our anniversary, and we just didn't forget. Yeah, it was the 2nd of December 2002 we started. So we're heading for 20. Hard to believe how time flies. And so yeah,
say no more. I'm still very young.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Well, I started working when I was 4, so yeah. I know. So that's that. So do schedule a call. Yeah, let's schedule a call. This is just to explain the marking that I went through as well. So 2 assignments, 10% for each assignment, giving you 20. Short test 10%, that's 2.5% for each short test, and 70%. So, and when you get your letters, it will either say pass, merit, or distinction. So if it's a pass, it's 40. If it's merit, it's between 60 and 80, and distinction if it's over 80. Okay. So that is that. These are the dates for your diary. So again, because you're starting this course now, but what's going to happen is you're kind of running right through. So what's going to happen is we're going to run right through. We will have a revision session on the 4th of February. That is a Saturday morning. Now that's the next scheduled Saturday morning where we get together. And what we will do is we will go through each subject. So there'll be an hour for risk. There'll be an hour for credit management. So we'll go through the exam, what you can expect in the exam. And what we'll also go through at the revision session is the mock exam paper. Now, you do not submit your mock exam. You just sit down and do it yourself on your own. And at the revision session, we'll go through what the perfect answers to the questions are. And you can see yourself, yeah, I would have got that. Oh, forgot about that. Blah, blah, blah. So you can go through. So you correct your own work from mock exam perspective and see how you did. So that is the revision session. And then the following Saturday, which is the 11th of February, that's the only time. Now, again, the revision session will be recorded and available. So if you can't make the 4th, that's fine too. And from the 11th of February, though, this is the key one. So you do have to be somewhere quiet, preferably on the 11th of February. And what I will do is, and I administer the exams, at 10 to 10 on the 11th of February, I will send you an email with the exam paper in it.
Okay.
Right. So, and I just ask you to acknowledge receipt, to say, yeah, I got it, or a thumbs up, or thanks, or whatever way. So I know I haven't mistyped the email address. So everybody has the exam. And then you have until 12. So on or before 12 o'clock, you have to submit your completed paper.
Okay.
Okay. So that is time bound. And that's the only sort of control we have. So now, will you have access to notes? Yes, you will. My advice is leave the notes. It will only cause you stress. If you're sitting there trying to find answers in the notes, your stress levels will go through the roof. So from an exam perspective, you will know from the mock exam and from the revision session kind of what to expect. Do the questions you find easy first and build your confidence. And in all the exams, there'll be choice. So on the risk exam, there are 2 compulsory questions, and then there are 6 questions where you have to answer 2. So if there is an area that you don't like, you can, shelve that altogether, because you're just going to reduce your choice in the exam. Do you get me?
Yeah. Okay.
So that is that. And then we take a break for an hour, and then from 1 to 3, you'll get your credit management exam. And again, Paul will go through this with you later. The credit management exam is in 2 parts. The first part is a multiple choice, where you're given 50 multiple choice questions, and you have 1 hour to complete that and send it back.
Right.
So that gives you a chance. And back to open book, you say, well, the notes are in front of you. With 50 questions to do in an hour, you only have a minute per question. If you're relying on notes to find the answers, you're going to just stress yourselves out, and the last thing you want to do is do that. So at 1 o'clock, you'll get your multiple choice questions. You submit that by 2, and then we get what we call the long questions. So again, I can't remember how many, but there's 4 or 6 or 8 questions on the paper, and you have to answer 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is very fair, and it gives you a chance. And then you guys are straight into it then. So we do the exam on the 11th, and then on the 18th, we'll have the induction session for the next term, which is collections and either law or international credit. So there's a choice. So if you're working in Ireland and only Ireland, and you only ever will, then obviously understanding Irish law and contracts and that kind of stuff is important. If you're working in the international sphere and you want to understand international business and different cultures and stuff, then the international one. But look, you can make your mind up nearer today as well. And in fact, some people even change their mind on the day, and that's fine too, as long as you start with one and stick with the one after you start. So that is the next term. And again, I'm giving you the dates here. So the 13th of May, we have the revision for the second term. 27th of May, we have the exams, and then you're done. So between now and the 27th of May, that is your full diploma in credit management. And then we will have a graduation ceremony, and where we get all the students. Now, just to let you know as well, we had another term that started back in September. So there is a big group on the September intake. Are you with me? So when you come to the 18th of February, hopefully there'll be, what do you reckon, Gina, 50 odd people in the room at that stage? She's smiling.
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely,
30
I
maybe.
do that
Go
with
on.
you.
Yeah, see, I'm the eternal optimist, so don't mind me. I'm only winding you up. So yeah, so there will be a bigger gang then. So that is that. Accreditation, which is also good. And one of the things that I bemoan a lot, and I think maybe COVID had something to do with it, maybe it didn't. To me, credit is a people business. It's about people. It's about, and the one thing that I found when I was a credit manager, the most important thing I had was my network. And I had other friends who were credit managers. See, I told you I was sad. Even my friends were credit managers. And the amount of information I got from them was just unbelievable. And what I'm finding over the last few years, being part of associations or institutes or any of that sort of stuff, it's just gone out of favor. And even like the one challenge I have, we used to do and still do like collections course, but I used to do telephone collection courses. And what's happening now is people are afraid to pick up the phone. Like like you've had a phone from the time you were 6 years of age, and but we're texting and we're WhatsApping and all that sort of stuff, and like ring somebody and talk to them. So the world has changed. And from a networking perspective, I find people just aren't networking as much. And that's something. So there are two major associations involved in credit. AICDP, which stands for the Association of International Credit Directors and Professionals. It's active in, I think it's now up to 20 countries now at this stage where there's members. And again, they organize events, they organize everything, and they recognize this diploma on an international level as well. So the one thing, if you want to get an AICDP diploma, all you have to do is join AICDP. And you want the good news? It's free. So what you do is you join, and I can send you the details on joining, and you'll be kept up to date with what's happening in the world. They do economic updates as well, and what's happening, and it's kind of interesting, and it's good to have a different source of knowledge. So AICDP is the International Credit Directors and Professionals, and we can send you out the details. Apply for membership, it's free, and then when you get your diploma, you get a diploma from AICDP, which is internationally recognized. Yeah.
Okay.
And then from a national perspective, there is an organization out there called CMII, which is the Credit Management Institute of Ireland. Declan, you're having a bad day. Of Ireland. So that is that. And again, if you want a diploma from the institute, same rules apply. You just have to apply to the institute for membership, and membership of that organization is also free. So there's no charge. And again, they run events and do all sorts of stuff as well. Now, CMII will keep you up to date with Ireland, Irish legislation, Irish law, Irish issues and all that kind of stuff, whereas AICDP is more of a global. And guys, there's no exclusivity. Just because you join one doesn't mean you can only join one. Are you with me?
Mhm.
So that's that. So you can enjoy both and benefit from both, and it just gives the course that extra credibility, as well. So you can have a CMII diploma, an AICDP diploma, and that is that. So with 2 minutes over, because I did start 2 minutes late. Any questions? I'll stop sharing the screen, and what I will also do after I stop sharing is I will stop recording. So